Hey listeners, before we get into today's podcast, I want to thank today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Do you feel like you're stuck in a dinner rut? With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients with mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip all those trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. You can now enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less with over 25 recipes to choose from each week. There's something for everyone to enjoy. All recipes are designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure delicious and simplicity. And I was just over there on their website checking out what they have to offer. And I'm telling you, it's making me super hungry. We have a prosciutto wrapped chicken, which I'm such a sucker for prosciutto. Chicken over garlic parm, which looks delicious. And even a beef tenderloin and brown butter veggies. There's a lot to choose from over there. It looks fantastic. And today they're offering our listeners a discount. You can go to the link in our show notes to get $80 off, including free shipping on HelloFresh, the #1 meal kit.
It's good for a fat lip every time.
Welcome back to the BarTalk Podcast. I am Andy of Inebriart, your host for today. I am joined by Jordan Chabot.
Yo, yo.
Of the Speedwell Tavern. Jeff Nardone of Mayflower Brewing.
Hello.
Who we kind of, bullied into being on the show.
Kidnapped.
Kidnapped is more accurate.
Held
Yeah.
hostage.
Carl Heine of New World Tavern.
Hello, everybody.
Where we are recording today. Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
The drinks are delicious.
Guys are always welcome here, but not all the time.
I'm drinking some Mayflower beverage.
Secret.
Top secret Mayflower beverage. And
Just follow social media. I mean, it might be out by the time.
I'm not saying it's a beer.
Dan, you got to wait for your turn.
Yeah.
It's always my
I'm
turn.
not saying it's a beer called Jonathan, but it may not be. Dan Mahoney of Stats.
What's up?
That's it. All
I
right.
already said enough words.
So, if you roll back the calendar, think of how 2020 went. I feel like everyone was a drunken mess because there's nothing to do but drink. And I see more and more friends in the industry and friends in general who are on the wagon, not drinking, periodically on the wagon, just trying to cut back. I've talked to brewers.
Taking a time out.
Yeah, and so there's a huge uptick in non-alcoholic beer to the point where it's cool to call them NA beers.
NAs.
Yeah. So, Jordan, the resident NA beer at the table. What gives?
I don't know, man. I think you hit the nail on the head as far as I'm concerned. I went into COVID, trying to power through it and keep a business alive and try to keep a good attitude. And, sometimes naturally you're just not able to do that. So
I drank a lot in those early days.
So to fill the gaps and sort of avoid the physical toll it took on me and the mental toll, I was hitting the bottle pretty hard. And, not crazy. I was still doing keto, so it was mainly the seltzers. But, man, those things can go down real easily, and you can do 15 to 20 a day. Sometimes if you were getting to the point where I was, and it was just something I did to kind of maintain, it just became a lifestyle. And then shit got a little real, man. I was like, I'm going to be working a lot. And, I got another restaurant opening up. I got a kid that starts school. And, yeah, sure, I can function like this, but kind of got a little old. So I saw a lot of people around me, like you had said, friend of the show, Ben Parsons, who owns Pillory Pub, and my brother, and a few other people, changing their lifestyle a little bit, and saw how well they were doing. And I was like, I got to get the bats out of my cave. So tried this whole non-alcoholic thing, just took 2 or 3 weeks off. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going hard on the keto thing anymore. Maybe I can have some non-alcoholic beers. That'll be my treat. Since I'm not crushing 20 seltzers a day, now I can have something that actually tastes like beer, something I've missed for a while because I was doing keto. So yeah, I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks, and there's really, really good ones out there.
And I think that's part of it is the craft non-alcoholic beer game has changed. It's not O'Doul's.
Right.
There's more choices.
And I think there's been a real big focus on mental health coming through COVID and after post-COVID. Like, so somebody going to a bar and ordering a non-alcoholic beer isn't like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with that guy? Oh, he's been through some shit. It's more just like, oh, he just doesn't feel like drinking today.
Yeah.
You know, it's just more socially accepted. So now you're seeing craft breweries seeing that. And they're like, hey, shit, this is a market we could tap into. So
Yeah, but I'll argue against when you say somebody orders an A at the table. The only person that knows it's an NA is the person that ordered it and the server, because
Because you don't say, I'll have an NA, please.
well, no, you say, what do you have for non-alcoholic
Yeah,
beers?
yeah.
Whatever,
Right.
whatever the case may be. But you get handed a can now of a craft non-alcoholic beer, and nobody knows in
Right,
that whole
yeah.
restaurant looking at that can if it's a non-alcoholic.
Right.
I mean, you used to have the O'Doul's, the green bottle, and everybody would know, okay, it's an O'Doul's, either that guy's an alcoholic or there wasn't designated drivers back then, but
Yeah.
now nobody knows. So it's not a stigma that you're attached to because nobody knows you're drinking a non-alcoholic beer.
I agree with most of that. I'm drinking one right now. Athletic Brewing Company. They've been making the rounds. They're kind of like the first big craft one that was available around here. And you look at the can, it just looks like a regular beer. It says IPA on it. It's
Right,
very,
so-
very subtly
Right. So
tells you it's
nobody knows
non-alcoholic.
that it's a non-alcoholic beer except for the server and the person drinking.
Right. But I went out with a couple the other day. Jan and I went out on a double date the other day. And this is a couple I haven't seen in a while. I know them well. But, I don't want that to be the conversation starter. The first thing you do when you sit at a table and you go to a restaurant is order your drinks. And they don't know I'm not drinking. They've always known me as a guy that has fun and has drinks at the at the party. And I had to be the, hey, what do you have, a non-alcoholic beer guy? And then of course it raises the question like, oh really? What's up with that, Jordan? And it's not that they're prying. It's just it's different. You know what I mean?
is.
Yeah, it's just peer pressure.
Right.
But I also
There is a stigma there.
If I ever went out with my buddies and somebody got an NA beer, it's worse than getting, hey, I'll just have a water. A water.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I can't, I can jump all over them.
Right, exactly.
I can't jump, hey, the guy wants a water, oh, hey, you're getting a water, whatever.
Right.
Well, even
You
if
get
the
the water,
people,
you're a sissy. You're drinking an NA, you're a pussy.
there is a stigma.
well, even if the people aren't as mean as Carl's friends, the thought immediately is, oh, there must be something wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Why did you choose this? And now people are choosing it because they want to be healthier, and there wasn't a problem. Maybe they were just overweight. Maybe they were whatever. Maybe they just wanted to clean up. Maybe when they sat down, their back hurt from their liver. I don't know. But
know that game.
maybe there's not a
That's
problem.
what that is.
There's not a problem that caused it. It was a life choice or whatever. And so
Right.
But I
I
also
just think people are more quick to make a life choice these days than they were when I was,
yeah.
when I was the up and coming generation.
They've been saying
I'd agree with that.
for years, though, that millennials are drinking less, and we sell more and more NA beers to younger people.
Yeah. Well, the legalization of marijuana.
Yeah.
I bring that up
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time with my declining
Yeah,
beer sales.
I'm still against that.
I mean, I just put in an order at Triple M in town, and I'm gonna pick up. It's not like I don't tweak on something to kind of disconnect. But now instead of drinking all day, I'll get all the shit I need to get done. Try to stay clear-headed, and I'm not doing this permanently. It's not like I'm on a 12-step program or anything. But sometimes you look back and you're like, shit, I was kind of in the fog for a year and a half. I need to tighten my screws a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. But everybody does.
I'm the same way, and I'm thinking about that fog and going, boy, that was nice.
Oh, trust me, I still do that too. That's why I'm stopping at Triple
So
M on the way
now
home.
you're talking about marijuana.
Yeah.
Do you ever see marijuana come in where you could have, they used to have the hookah bars. Do you think that it's coming soon enough that you could have a marijuana hookah bar?
Yeah.
Where now it's I think, and I don't really know the laws, but it's illegal in public, but legal to do on your own.
Yeah.
Do you think that it'll ever be legal in public?
I think so.
In
I
what,
agree.
In what kind of boundaries do you think? Do you think there's going to be marijuana bars?
No, I think it's going to first show up in the cities.
Yep.
And it'll show up like cigar clubs. When they eliminated smoking, the cigar bars showed up, and you had to have a club, a membership, or whatever.
Yep.
It'll be something along those lines.
Right. I agree.
That's
with
how
that.
it'll start,
I think-
and then it's just going to do what it has done in every. What do we have? 4 dispensaries in this town now.
Jordan, you should start one with your brother, and you can call it Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, it's not bad, dude. Writing that down. That's not bad.
I think you might
You
not
sell
see
weed
that.
and egg rolls. There you go.
I already probably been practicing rolling. You know what I mean?
A roll's a roll.
When is this opening?
Oh my God, it sells itself.
It's already out of his basement.
I think you might not see that until they have a reliable way of testing to see if you're impaired.
I don't think that's the case.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I don't think.
Wait, I'm sorry. What do you mean, like a
For driving.
Like a
breathalyzer kind of thing?
Like a breathalyzer. Yeah, because I mean that's a big thing. If they pull you over, you know, is this guy stoned or is he just an idiot?
Right.
Well, they're pulling you over because you did something wrong, right? The police aren't just pulling
I don't know.
randos over unless the car looks suspicious or
They'll
it's
pull you
driving
over,
weird.
but
or,
they can pull you over for tail light out.
Right. But what's the difference between going to a cafe and smoking and going and being able to smoke as much as you want at home? Like you can already do that.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
You
the
know, if you're
implication
You're
doing
driving no matter what.
Right now, at
No,
least
the
when you're in a,
implication is if you're at home, you're at home. You're not going to be going home.
when you're in a
got a
cafe,
good point.
you're going to have a bud tender. That's what they call them
Yeah.
now. You know, basically regulating how much you're consuming while you're there,
Right.
just like a bartender would when you're on alcohol. So it's dram shop laws all over again.
I think it's harder though to keep track of like what
Everyone's
you
intact.
what you consume for weed. Whereas like you can like you've had 5 beers and like you've smoked one joint and you're just as fucked up as.
Yeah. Did you let it burn more? Did you
Yeah.
inhale more? You know.
Right. It's true.
I think that's just like the logistics.
I never inhale.
Yeah, Bill Clinton
I was
documentary.
just gonna say,
I'm excited for that, dude. Monica Lewinsky. You want? Oh man.
But it's interesting, and I feel like, and maybe I'm just more accustomed to alcohol, but I feel like marijuana hits people differently, and there's different strains of marijuana. Like, is this
Yeah.
kind of makes you jitters?
Yeah,
Is this kind
but you could say that about an 8% alcohol, a 5%
Yeah, I suppose
alcohol.
so, yeah.
It hits this person.
Tequila hits
different
worse
from
than
right,
vodka.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
If you're going into a situation where you feel it's safe enough to be legal, then you need to you can't. If alcohol's legal, it's legal. You got to leave it down to the user. And if that's what they're doing with marijuana, that's what they're doing with marijuana now. They're leaving it up to the
But
user.
in a public place, I can't get a secondhand buzz.
Right.
on booze.
That's true.
This is true.
That's true.
And that's why I like Jeff's point about the club thing, because that alleviated any sort of, listen, you know what you're walking into. This place is going to have secondhand smoke all over.
Right.
You've signed up to be in this.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's not a shared space so that might be the approach that they take on that, Jeff. I think that's a really good point.
Well, plus those bars all have the best ventilation places you've ever been into, like cigar bars. So,
Right.
For
you
sure.
know, you don't walk out just smelling like a chimney like
True.
you used to. So
It's true.
generally very comfy chairs too.
Yeah, it's a hard time leaving cigar bars.
Which is a
down leather
yeah,
chairs.
yeah, which is a must. Which is a must for a weed bar. I would
Well,
think.
the thing about like
beanbag
weed,
chairs.
the thing about weed now is it's like you can't consume it like in public, but been like, oh, that guy just ate a gummy bear. Was it a gummy bear or was it an edible?
Right.
You know, it's so. Oh, that person, just came out of Kiskadee and they're eating a cookie. Well,
Yeah, but then there's nips all over the freaking ground.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm not
yeah.
disagreeing. I'm just
You
saying
can't drink out in public
it's
either, technically.
impossible
Right.
to police it in public.
Yeah.
Short of you are smoking a joint, you can't do that.
Right.
But
I
if
would
you're
say the
eating
same
if
about
you're eating
alcohol.
a cookie,
Right.
how am I supposed to tell?
You know what's funny? So I was playing at a golf course out in Western Mass, and I'm walking up to the bag drop where you leave you pick up the cart and whatever. And I'm walking up, and there's this gentleman smoking, and I don't smoke, so I generally walk around the puffs of smoke. But as I walk through, the guy is just standing there smoking a joint in front of the golf course. I think that freedom, people don't even care if it smells anymore.
No,
because
they don't.
this is my
Yeah.
joint,
Yep.
and I'm on private property, and if they want to tell me to put it out, I'll put it out. But
Right.
I've literally walked by people outside of bars on Main Street here in Plymouth, and the
Yeah.
guy's just lighting up a joint. I'm like,
How do you know it's a joint?
I've kicked someone out of my bar for lighting up a
it
joint.
may
so.
have been a rolled cigarette.
That's right.
It may have been a rolled
Was it
cigarette. Who?
A gentleman that
local-
frequents these bars and he rolls his own
Possible.
cigarettes.
It's very
just a
possible.
cigarette, 'cause he's a foreigner.
I think you know as soon as they light it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hang out to.
But then you get the
Yeah, I didn't
the
hang out
vape
to sniff
pens
'em.
Stuff look
But
just
I'm-
like the jewels and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
I assume everyone that's vaping is smoking marijuana, is
Yeah.
vaping marijuana. So,
Because why else would you do it?
right.
I feel like you can either smoke weed or look like a douche.
My kids at work, I call them my kids. My kitchen guys.
Your children.
What is it?
They're your older children.
Yeah, they pretty much. Yeah, I mean, they just leave.
Children we prefer.
Their vape
Adopted
pens
children.
go.
Yeah.
If we have our first aid kit in the back of the kitchen, and you walk downstairs, and that's where the first aid kit is. There's just a line of vape things and chemical THC and all that shit. And I don't give a fuck, dude. They're doing their job, whatever. Like if a bartender can do a shot, we've done this debate 1,000 times. If bartenders do shot with customers at late night, kitchen guys can zone out while they're frying chicken. I don't care. We're not doing heart surgery, but it's one of those things. I think once you make something legal, you've already confronted all of those possibilities.
Yeah.
It's already out there.
Yeah.
And
now it's the level of acceptability from people who, when it was illegal, would look down their nose at you, and now they're like, "Oh, I got these edible M&Ms," and you're like, "Fuck, really?"
yeah, it's awesome. I was talking to a local guy that
like
works
you could
in
have done
town.
that like a year ago, and
We
a
have-
year ago it was illegal.
Yeah,
We knew it.
right.
Right. We have a guy that works on the street, has had a shop open on the street for a very long time, works in a trade. I'm not going to blow up his spot, but very well known. He's not a restaurant guy, but he had a heart attack a couple of years ago. And he came over to fix something for me at Speedwell, so you know he's a trade person. And he looked great. He like lost a bunch of weight, and I'm just like, "What are you doing?" Like, he's like, "Well, instead of me running my business by myself, my son comes work for me, and now I just hang out in the office and smoke weed all day." And he's like, "I fixed my diet, so I won't have a heart attack again." And he's like, "I just sit there and smoke weed." The guy's like 65 years old, like a well-known dude down here, and like that's what he does now. It's this. There you go with the stigma, but
Yeah.
it's just a 65-year-old guy decided after he had a heart attack he was going to stop smoking weed and stop drinking. So
So it
happens.
We started talking about non-alcoholic beer, and
yeah,
got
now we're
into
talking about weed.
But
Maybe
Jack-
they have non-alcoholic weed.
I think all weed is.
Wouldn't
non-
that just be a cigarette though?
Oh man, alcoholic weed would be gross.
But
your bong
the number of
up some
people
beer.
who come in and
That's a
ask
cigarette.
for
Yeah.
like beers with THC in them is like really high, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's legal in this state.
No, I don't think it's legal in any state. I don't think you
I
can
thought
you can
Colorado
mix the
had
two.
some.
Do they?
Dispensaries can
If
sell.
anyone was going
they-
to.
Oh, dispensaries. Can-
Dispensaries sell the seltzers.
Yeah, but
no.
it's just THC.
Yeah,
it doesn't
there's
have
no
alcohol
alcohol.
in it. I just bought two.
That's what he was just
It's
drinking.
just THC. Oh, yeah, they're regular seltzer waters with THC.
If
in
you want to add vodka
They
to
don't
it,
mix
it's all
them.
on
You
you.
could do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Jesus
But I mean,
Christ.
how
man.
fucked up do you want to get? I mean, that's my thing. It's
I
like,
don't know, man.
I feel like
Depends on the day of the week.
Too much for me. I'm still a lightweight with it.
Depends how many beers I have
Yeah.
before I make that decision.
But Jeff, you work in the craft beer industry. What's your opinion on NAs? Are you guys kicking around the idea? Like, I don't want you to like
It
show
is-
your playbook, but
Yeah, no worries. We don't have one. Will we have one? We'll probably have one before we have a gluten-free beer
yeah. Well, there's a lot like
because
more
it's
to that because that's way more. Complicated.
yeah, and I think the problem that craft beer runs into with the gluten-free isn't that the industry doesn't care about that customer. It's just
We don't
it's
care
hard to
about that
make that.
Yeah, we don't.
Because you can't use that in your
You-
regular
Well,
pots and whatever.
it's a different process, and you need different machinery, and then it doesn't taste the same.
I feel like
And
hard
so a
seltzer kinda
non-alcoholic-
removed that demand too.
Yeah, they
a
give
little
Right.
more
Well, I mean, let's
Right.
get back to the NAs. Do you think they taste the same as a regular beer?
Yeah. Yeah, you can listen. I've had. I haven't had that one yet, the athletic, but I've
'Cause
had
Jordan's not sharing.
Lagunitas, the hop water. They
Yep.
came
that
out
stuff's
with.
good.
It's
Yeah.
it's a
Kirkland's
lighter
supposed to have
style.
good
It's a
ones,
lighter style, but you get the hop flavor. You get the body. It's a little bit lighter, but yeah, the flavor's still there. So, beer drinkers now, with all the New Englands and the cupcake IPAs and
Cupcake
pastries.
IPAs.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's out there somewhere. But the pastry stouts and people are in beer now for flavor.
Yeah.
And if you provide the flavor, who cares about the alcohol? I got weed. That's
Right.
that's kind of. I mean, they're only buying 4-packs nowadays anyway,
and people
right?
are looking for like sessions and
Right,
Well,
right.
now they
And
have
so,
choices not besides just a garbage bottle of
Yeah.
fucking non-alcoholic piss water.
yeah, so I'm just gonna
Put it
drink.
bluntly.
I'm gonna drink these, NA beers, and we'll just eat a couple edibles and smoke a joint or something.
Yeah.
I don't even think people smoke joints as much as they just
Hit their
edibles.
Hit the
Pre-rolls
Vapes
now
and
they call
edibles,
them.
but
What do they call them?
Pre-rolls. You just buy them pre-rolled.
By the way, I don't know who's pre-rolling them, but
So nobody rolls
they
their
canoe
own?
like a motherfucker. I have to re-roll them with the dollar bill
Really?
and then, wet them and,
I can't smoke in the apartment I'm in right now, so I haven't
But I just feel
Dabbled
like
in
Let's
leaf,
go
but-
outside.
I know, right? Yeah, let's go.
I just feel like everyone goes towards edibles now and like
Yeah.
vapes. It seems.
So you think there's more people doing edibles than smoking?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
the vapes too.
Another
I mean,
another
you don't smell
anecdotal.
it.
See, I'm thinking the vapes are I see less and less in those than I had in the past.
I see less of people doing it without marijuana, like because they made it illegal, like to have flavored ones and shit like
yeah,
that.
for roll up ones and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
But I think it was like a fad that was really on the upswing and then all of a sudden just stopped.
Yeah.
I think Charlie Baker's the one that stopped that. Yeah, because my kids still get it. They'll go to New Hampshire. They'll get their vape.
fucking everyone in Boston has it.
Yeah,
know
they
that-
they still do it. It's
They go
just
from China and then they die.
yeah, we don't have 3 vape stores on the street anymore. That's
There
the
was
problem.
enough negative propaganda about what's in there and how regulated is it that scared, the fringe crowd away, I think.
Yeah.
And so that fringe crowd doesn't have it anymore.
It hasn't been around long enough to know what the damage it's doing to your lungs. You're sucking on a battery, like
Right.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
definitely that fear.
So let's ask the question that Andy's been dying to ask. We talk about NAs, beers.
Yeah.
What about drinks?
cocktails.
Oh, like cocktails. Like
Mocktails.
mocktails. And friends of the show, Heather and Jim from Malbar did CBD mocktails, and she said they did phenomenal.
I bet.
Yeah. Which I'm not, like, I don't buy into the whole CBD thing.
So they continue on doing it?
Should they?
Did they?
I don't know. I know they did them for a while. I don't know if they're still doing it.
Yeah,
Couldn't
it's
have
a
been
thing.
too bad.
Right.
I was
But
at
I just can't answer that question. They may still do them.
I
So
was at a
anyway, so-
restaurant
go ahead.
last night that had 5 non-alcoholic cocktails on the menu that were different.
For the children?
Maybe.
That's
But
an
they were
excellent question.
they were different from their cocktail list, which was elaborate to begin with, and they weren't just virgin margarita or something
Right.
like that. They were developed cocktails, and they're selling them for that kind of price too, like a craft cocktail that's been mixed up and thought about what the flavor profile is without the booze in it. So we didn't get any, of course, but
There's some good ones. Our friends
course.
down at Hillary have an awesome couple.
Why would
mocktails.
you?
Really?
And then I put booze in them.
There you go.
That's how good they are.
Right.
All well,
But if
I
you,
want that.
Do you sell any of the stats?
No,
so
they don't make non-alcoholic Jameson in Boston.
but you can't
Well
sell
said.
NA beers to minors. Can
You cannot.
You cannot.
There's still alcohol in them.
'Cause
No,
they're-
NA beers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking
But
drinks.
can you sell an NA cocktail? 'Cause
It's just juice.
just juice, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, not true. There are non-alcoholic spirits now. Believe
Well,
it or not.
if you can sell non-alcoholic beer in a supermarket. Now in Massachusetts we have the Packy laws where
But you still can't be underage.
that's what I'm saying. Can an 18-year-old buy a 6-pack of O'Doul's?
Nope.
No.
I've never seen it, but I don't know that that's
They
impossible.
Cannot do it.
No, they can't. And I think that's a good idea because it just opens up this.
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
other-
it's gonna be black and white.
Why does an 18-year-old want to drink a non-alcoholic beer anyway? You know what I
They're
mean?
Dumb.
Why
Why do they drink mouthwash, Jordan?
Right.
It's true.
'Cause
Hey,
they
and you know
dumb.
what? Hey, to Jeff's point too, though, if the
Wait, you're not supposed to swallow that?
Why are they sniffing glue?
You can. You're over 21.
Oh, good.
if the non-alcoholic beers go the pastry stout, smoothie IPA way, where they actually have like a flavor to them besides just beer, you could see them starting to appeal to 18-year-olds, and that might raise an issue.
I'm going to tell you, I'm amazed with like the way the vapes have been, roll it way back with Joe Camel being like, you can't market this shit to kids. The craft beer industry has gotten like a huge stay of execution because they'd be like, oh, this is a Fruit Loop beer, this is a Reese Cup beer, and like
Right.
that. You still have to be, but it's candy and like there's a Warhead sour.
You're right.
It's like
That's a great point.
Yeah, you're marketing candy beer.
Right.
And it's not marketed towards adults, but it's no more marketed than the flavored vapes.
Right. So where do you make that cut?
I don't really think
I don't
you
think anybody
should.
knows.
'cause
It's a lot like the cereal boxes on the second shelf at eye level with the kid in the
Yeah.
carriage at the. You know what I
Right,
mean?
but the thing that markets alcohol to adolescents, teenagers, is you telling them they can't.
100%.
That's the biggest marketing thing because So you can't do that. Teenagers are like,
So
fuck that.
go
let's
back
do
to
it,
the
right?
mocktails. Can you serve those too?
I believe technically
A minor?
you'd be
If
able
there was no, I would say if there wasn't one of these new non-alcoholic spirits, you should be able to. Yeah, of course. Like a strawberry daiquiri with no alcohol in it. Yeah, my kid could have that.
Or a mudslide. That's
Yeah.
basically an ice cream.
Of course.
Yeah, like chocolate milk.
Yeah, it
Right.
really is.
But now there are, I forget the name of the company, but there are these spirits out there that have no alcohol in them because let's face it, you can't make a gin and tonic without gin. You know, someone might
And
want.
tequila has a very distinct taste.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
exactly. So they're finding there is a demand for them. A lot of people want to go out and feel like they're part of the crowd without drinking syrup, you know what I mean, and mudslides and weird shit like that. I don't think you should be able to serve that to kids either. It's just unnecessary. It's just, even if there's zero alcohol in it.
we had
So they shouldn't have it at the high school then.
No.
I'll bring that up on the next PTA.
Thank you.
All right.
If you can get a word in.
we ran an inebriate event outdoors drawing like during COVID, and we were like, it's BYOB, whatever. And this one woman shows up. She's like, "Oh, I brought non-alcoholic wine." I'm like, "You brought grape juice." It's grape juice.
Right,
like
right.
that's what that is.
Manischewitz?
Yeah.
The sparkling ciders.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
Manischewitz,
"Oh,
yeah.
it's terrible," and I'm like, "You had to open it and drink it to realize that was going to be terrible. Like it's grape juice." Yeah.
When it says Welch's on the side.
Now that's why I think a lot of the craft ones are showing like they're alcohol removed, so they're not like just beer that hasn't been fermented. I'm talking a little out of school. I don't know the process of O'Doul's or whatever.
Well, that's
but
like, how do they make non-alcoholic beer?
I don't know. I think it's osmosis or something where they're able to gently drag the alcohol out without harming, so they're not super sweet or they don't taste stale.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you know anything about that, Jeff?
I don't know the specifics of the process.
Yeah.
I'll be
What about
honest.
you, Karl?
Not
You know
well enough
stuff.
to speak on it. I know how to sell them.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Yeah, I didn't know there was NAs until this show.
You carry them. You order them. They're
We're
in your
selling-
fridge.
I didn't know they were NAs. The guy friggin' screwed me.
That's why he keeps fighting you over, Jordan.
Karl was charged like he was an A.
I had like 4 of them, and I'll get a buzz. I think.
So I mean, that's one of the other things. Is there's still alcohol in it. Like, how much would you have to consume to even get a buzz?
0.5. So there's 0.5% alcohol in most of these now. So
Right, but what's the cutoff? Is it 0.5? I think it is, but I don't know why. I think
that's a
that
good
is.
question. I think it is. I think you.
But I don't know why I think that is.
It's because they always say 0.5 or less alcohol in this because maybe the process doesn't work the same way every single time.
Right.
But to be considered an
So
non-alcoholic
if you're at
beer,
0.6, you're an alcoholic.
you're an alcoholic beer. It is what it is. You know, they have to have the line somewhere, right? So. There's Heineken just came out. They found a way to do it
0.0.
0.0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
0.
So I think what they do is
Yeah.
they just don't add the sugars.
Right.
Because the sugar is going to create
what-
the
yeah,
alcohol.
yeah.
So there's no sugar, and that's why it's no carbs, because there's no sugar.
Right.
in a low alcohol beer.
See,
I
told you,
love how
Karl,
they
your
advertise
stuff.
that.
The sugar's coming from the grain,
Over
though.
driving with a Heineken, and the cop's
Yeah.
like, "Yo, what's up with that?" And he's got it drinking a non-alcoholic Heineken while driving.
Well,
but
that's
then he got in
actually-
trouble for like not having a registration.
But I mean, like, but that's an excellent, like, you can't sell it to a minor. Can you drink it while driving?
I don't see why not with a 0.0 Heineken.
But does that fall under open container laws? Because there's
Very good
technically
question.
alcohol in it. So,
No, and Heineken doesn't have any.
well, fuck Heineken.
But Jeff, you were going to say something, and then Jordan interrupted. 'Cause
No,
That's what Jordan
that's,
does.
that's how Jordan works.
I don't know if he was
it's
across
fine.
the table.
Heineken had that commercial with a guy sitting
That's what I said. Yeah.
in a car, and the cop walks up and he points at the bottle because it's like the Mentos commercials that all the language is in another language.
Yeah.
So they just don't play the language, so you don't hear it. But
Yeah, but wasn't he like a no parking zone or something anyway?
There's something stupid like that.
yeah, stupid enough to have an open container that looks like
Yep.
a beer.
Just asking to get pulled over.
It's just asking for trouble.
It's so funny, like, the craft beers now are so art heavy on their labels that you can't distinguish between like an energy drink and a beer.
No. If you walked around right now, you wouldn't get pulled over
And
for walking around with
people
beer.
say
It's true.
all the time.
People don't know what it is.
a really good point.
They'll be like, "Can I walk around with this?" And be like, "I'm not your mom, man. Like, no, you are legally not allowed to, but people do it all the time."
Right. And you're right that the way beers are packaged in cans now and the label and all that, yeah, it's crazy. You really legit could probably get away with it. Cops are probably like, I'm so tired of
They don't give a fuck.
asking this person if they're drinking and it's a Monster Energy drink, and then it's crazy. Yeah, it's
That's
true.
why they
How
put
do
them
you
in a
manage
brown
that?
bag because you can't look inside that brown bag.
That's true. That's true. But a brown bag screams I'm drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
I'd rather just walk around with that
Walk around
400 can.
You walk around with a can, you cover it with the label is, and that could be anything.
Right.
Did you see Miller's getting rid of all the malt liquor? Not all of it, but a lot of the big names you grew up drinking underage.
Get the fuck out of here. No, High Life.
Like what?
High Life Light's gone, which a lot of people get confused about.
Right.
Old English is gone. Like all those Steel Reserves going away.
Everything that was in 40s?
Yep, pretty much.
Wow.
Heffen Reffa?
Not Heffenreffer. So I don't think that's.
Colt 45?
Heffenreffer was my favorite because
I don't think it's called 45. Yes.
It was like, it tastes like shit, but let's get drunk and solve the other problem.
King Cobra, I think, is going.
$3 for a
Schlitz
40
isn't.
ounce.
I think that's gone already.
No, Schlitz is still around, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they made
so.
like a little comeback
Yeah.
a few years ago. Yeah.
Like Zima?
Like Zima. And then
Zima's
White
back?
Claw just buried that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zima was back for like 10 minutes, and then White Claw came out.
Well, they only did a limited run on it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sold out everywhere. You
Yeah.
couldn't get it.
That's nostalgia. That's another thing too. Going back to like candy labels and stuff like that. That's a lot of way. Like that's not on par with the non-alcoholic speech, but
Ooh, let's start a candy cigarette business.
yeah,
Remember those?
people's member berries, dude. Everybody's like searching for nostalgia as an escape right now. So like they're using things like Reese's peanut butter cups and beers, and fucking.
But if you do, like, if Zima made another run, the kids aren't looking at that. Kids today don't even know what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
they're
So
more-
everybody
yeah,
that's buying it is older. So
right.
it's
Yep.
40 and up, I would say. Right.
I actually,
Like,
anyway,
we didn't do Zima.
yeah.
Like, they
Anyway.
weren't for us. Like,
45 maybe.
Right.
I actually just saw a post. I don't know what outlet it was on, as far as social media, and it had a picture of a Zima bottle, and it said something millennials and boomers can agree on. This sucks. I thought it was great.
That is great.
Sorry, Carl.
he's sad
Don't
now.
apologize to Carl.
You know,
You're the guest on this show.
I do like that when everyone laughs really hard, Carl does not laugh.
I like Zima.
He likes being the center of attention too. He
I
wants to be a
have
fun
no
guy.
doubt you like Zima. Zero.
I don't think I've ever had one.
No.
What does it taste like? A thin
I
Smirnoff
don't
Ice?
even remember.
Yeah, it's a little crisper.
Yeah.
It's malty.
Yeah, I don't remember enjoying it.
It's heavier than you'd think it would be.
I remember slamming Jack Daniel's
Yeah,
Lynchburg
it's not a-
lemonades
it's not
and
a
getting
seltzer.
heartburn when I was
Yeah.
fucking 16.
Did you ever play the Smirnoff Ice game? Where you just
Icing
hide-
people?
You'd ice people?
Oh yeah.
So you literally hide a bottle of Smirnoff Ice someone. And like, so say Andy finds it, he has to open it and chug it no matter what the fuck.
You got to get
Yeah.
down on one knee too.
I was going to say, do you have to get down on one knee, right?
Yes.
So
I don't
early
recall
COVID, right? Like early COVID. Everything is still shut down. Everyone's miserable. I'm walking down Pleasant Street, which is right near my house, just mind my own business. And this girl goes, "Excuse me." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she hands me she iced me on the side of the road.
Damn.
A random person iced
A
you?
random person
That's
iced me, and
awesome.
I'm like,
No pun intended, but that's cold.
yeah, but you know what? It
Probably just lukewarm.
it was ice cold.
All right.
Made my fucking day because it felt normal.
Yeah.
So
Right.
took a knee on the sidewalk and pounded it, and she's like, "That was awesome." I'm like, "Yeah, man, whatever." Like it, and I'm like, then like for the rest of the day, I'm like, I'm probably dying now. I'm probably dying now. But it was totally worth it. But I'm probably dying.
You've had a good run.
Yeah, you know.
We'll give you a great memorial podcast.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Death by ice.
That's the name for the podcast.
There you go.
Do you guys want to do some questions?
Sure.
Adam Matthew, I need to type up a menu and price list for our bar. Any good suggestions on if Microsoft Word has a good program or features?
Yeah, it's called Microsoft Word.
But I feel like Microsoft Word is very
Yeah,
like
you can always do it in PowerPoint.
I feel like Canva.
What?
Canva, if you want to add some graphics, make it look nice.
I would outsource it. If you're like that concerned about what it looks like, just get a
Yeah.
graphic designer to
Just
do
get
it.
your
Pay the right
fucking
person.
typewriter out and start doing
They have templates and shit though, right? You open up a Word document, you go to templates, so now it's like you can search the web for templates, I guess. I mean, it's cheesy, but if you want to do it
Yes,
yourself.
I just feel like Microsoft Word's like super basic.
Yeah. I've never used like Adobe or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't answer your question.
Go to Canva.
I did. Use Microsoft Word, asshole.
Yeah. Well, what do you use?
You did. This is true.
Do you use Microsoft Word, Dan?
I do.
Yeah, I use it
Yeah.
for my special sheet.
I use it for my beer lists.
Yep.
I use Untapped.
My
You
menus?
use Untapped, don't you? For your
No.
bills? No? Oh. Yeah, I use Untapped. They do it all for you.
Well, yeah, so if you're looking for graphic stuff, Canva. Canva.com. It's free.
Cool. Good to know. Thanks.
You can do like social media posts, newsletters, letterheads.
Is there an app?
It's free to Andy because he's advertising it right
Yeah,
now.
no shit.
Oh shit, Dan, I'm sorry. Did I just give someone free advertising?
No free ads.
Free ads, Andy.
No free ads.
Cut this whole segment, bitch.
It sounds
Christ, how are
like
we ever going to make money on this show?
this
Yeah.
website rhymes with manva.com, but do not search manva.com.
Hey, I just downloaded it. Thanks.
Anyway, next question.
All right, hang on a second.
Carl just keeps the.
I know. You're supposed to talk about these questions, Karl. You're supposed to provide information.
You guys are talking about manva. I don't even know what that means, but I can't say it to my wife because I feel like I'm going to get slapped.
Please do.
Just found out what vajayjay meant, for Christ's sake.
Jesus Christ. How do you have three?
Those are fajitas, right?
Something like that, Jeff.
Tanya Faust, what is your response when a server says that they've never been stiffed on a tip after 20 years of serving?
Come into the back
Liar.
room, baby.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty good.
Fuck.
I don't even. So sorry.
Not answering that.
BarTalk is not responsible for anything that Karl Heine says. His opinions do not reflect that of anyone here or their businesses.
They're affiliates.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I need a second.
All right, so let's jump to the
Stiff on
next
the tip,
question
dude.
because that was fucking horrible. Listen, Futch. Your last name's Futch. Say your restaurant closes at 9. What's the latest you would go in?
And you know it closes at 9?
I know Jordan's Kitchen closes at 9. What's the latest I would go in?
It depends if
The
I'm
kitchen or the bar, the whole place?
Either. I mean,
Let's go with the whole place because
okay, the
there's a
whole
difference.
place. Yeah, yeah.
So if the place closes at 9,
But it also depends. Like
and if it was 8:30, if I'm just going for a quick beer, I would go in at 8:30.
Yeah.
Probably not any later than that because 1, you're pissing off the people that work there, and 2, I don't have enough time to sit there and have a drink.
But that's kind of why I brought up the kitchen because I feel like your impact on a kitchen is worse
I
than
think
your
a lot of
impact on
people
a bar.
don't realize what time the kitchen closes. They realize what time the bar closes. So if the kitchen closes early,
Yeah.
then I would still go and say, well, if the kitchen's open, I'll get something. If it's closed, I won't. But I'll still go.
If I knew the kitchen closed at 9 and I had intent on getting food, I wouldn't go probably any later than 8, just because I've been in the other way. But I think people outside of the industry, they don't really give a fuck. But
I would say,
a reasonable.
8:45. If I'm going
Yeah,
in,
reasonable
and it's,
person.
And it's 8:45 and the kitchen closes at 9, I'm okay getting it.
Right.
If I get there at 5 or 9 and I'm just rushing and I'm like, fuck,
I wouldn't.
Yeah, but what do you-
spitting on
like a
something.
half hour before?
Right. And it would affect what I ordered, too.
I was just going to say, what are you ordering? Are you
Right.
ordering wings, or which is a quick
Right.
item,
Yeah.
or are you ordering, a steak
Left
or
side of the
something
menu.
like that?
Right.
So, I don't know. This person might be asking probably because they feel guilty already about going in it, or maybe they had someone walk into
I was
their
gonna say it
restaurant.
almost sounds like how dare this person?
There's
come
always
in.
going to be someone that comes in at 8:55 or 9,
Those guys
and they're going to
people,
pretend
like,
they
get
don't
mad.
know.
They close at 9. Like
We
this
just tell them,
motherfucker
if
came in
you're
at
here,
7.
if you're here
Yeah.
at 10 or 9, we tell the people, listen, the kitchen closes in 10 minutes.
Right.
If I don't get your order in before 10 minutes, they're not going to make it. So if you want to order now,
I think
feel
that's fair.
free.
I think that's really
As
great.
long
Yeah.
as they're told.
Right.
And then it's, the worst thing is when you get, if you work in the kitchen and you get a server, and let's say the kitchen closes at 9, it's 9 o'clock, and they're like, well, I got a table of 4 that hasn't ordered yet. Well, it's too late. Oh, but they've had menus and had a couple of drinks for like half an hour. So they were here well before we closed the
Bullshit.
kitchen. And I say, sorry, you can tell them now that it's your fault because you didn't get that order in time.
Right.
It's not the customer's fault.
Right.
You didn't tell them to get the order in time.
Yeah.
And I don't
agree.
make it. And the people are mad because the server didn't tell them what was going on, and the server's irate and embarrassed because they got called on it.
It's the server's job.
That's correct.
It's
Yeah.
the server's
Absolutely.
job, and it's too often where servers are able to be like, "Oh, the kitchen screwed this up" or whatever, and like the kitchen guys can't do anything about that. You know what I mean? And it happens all the time. And granted, you want the person who's facing the table.
If you put that order in at 8:59, and on the ticket in the kitchen it's 8:59, and the kitchen guys start complaining, I
Right.
say, then go home and don't work here because the rule is after 9.
Right.
This was before 9.
Right.
It's black and white. There's no gray area.
that line has to be
Now,
written
if a
somewhere.
server comes into the kitchen and says, hey guys, I just had a table of 4 sit, can we serve or not? And if they say no, or if they say, you know what, we're still haven't even started cleaning up yet. So yeah, go ahead, put it in. I'll wait.
Right.
That's up to the kitchen at that point.
Yeah.
But the kitchen is well within their right to say, sorry, we closed 5 minutes ago. The oven's off, the grill's off. They're starting to rub down everything with soap and water and cleaning up. Then no, I can't reopen everything because I'm halfway through.
Yeah. No.
So the servers don't realize that. They just think that, well,
Right.
It's only 5 past.
Right.
Yeah,
and
but-
they look like the hero to the table, not the kitchen.
And I've been cleaning for 5 minutes.
Right.
So usually the kitchen will say no because they're waiting TikTok. Now, if there's 4 tickets up and they're still cooking,
Right.
I'm not saying
yeah.
stop cooking at 9, just no more tickets at 9.
Right.
So if they're still cooking, the kitchen might say, all right, one more ticket's not going to make a difference. Go ahead and send it in.
Yeah, right. And that's it. It's all about communication.
Right.
Communicate with the table.
But sometimes that answer's going to be no. It's
Right.
just because you come in and say a table of 4 sat,
Right.
doesn't mean we're going to make them a meal.
But it better not be
Sorry.
no at 8:30.
That's correct.
It's fucking kitchen guys love that.
8:59.
because Right.
8:59. It better not be no.
You started cleaning early. That's on you.
And that kitchen should, and then that server should not be asking the kitchen at 8:59. They should put that order in for 15 people that just showed up. As long as it says 8:59, then they don't have to check with the kitchen because it's before 9.
Right.
And I've seen it a lot, especially lately, where kitchens tend to be closing on the earlier side. Like, you'll go, and before they even seat you, they'll be like, just so you know, our kitchen already closed.
Absolutely.
And I'd say 9 times out of 10, I'd be like, cool, thanks for the notice, and I go somewhere else because
Right.
I'm usually looking for something to eat.
Or
Right.
they just come and say, oh, no, we're just here for drinks.
Yeah, which is
Right.
fine. Yeah, either way. But
Come on in.
Yeah. Jeff, stop talking so much, all right?
It's a restaurant question, Jay.
Yeah, I think
Trying
it's
to figure out what
on-
NA means.
Nah.
Oh,
That
good
was
one. That's a good dad
bad.
joke. You want to do your
Probably not a good
snowman
idea.
joke again?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Go watch BarTalk Day Drinking for the snowman joke. It's great. Kathy Barr, question. When someone tips on a carryout order, who gets the tip?
We've done this one before.
Have we?
Yeah, especially during COVID when we were doing only takeout.
Yeah.
It was like, it came up a lot. Yeah, it was, all right, if the hostess is answering the phone and the kitchen is packaging it up or if the kitchen's cooking it and blah, 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 and it was just, there was really no right answer. Every
Right.
restaurant's different. It depends who you staff.
Yep.
I like it when there's a giant order in the middle of a Saturday and and it was called the day before. The bartender that's on didn't do anything but cash that person out. So I would like for them, if there's a big tip on a bigger order, to throw something the kitchen's way. So,
But they won't.
They
And they might if you're there.
Right.
But if you're not there, they're not doing it.
I agree. And it's they don't at all. We bring it up at every meeting every 6 months, and they'll
Yeah.
do it for a couple weeks,
Yep.
and then it'll just go by the wayside.
I just find it interesting if I go into a sub shop and I order to go, I don't tip. Mm-hmm. Then I go into a restaurant. Do they expect a tip?
No, I I think they do. Yeah, I think they expect
They
something.
expect a lot.
Yeah, but we've had this conversation. Remember, I'd said if it depends on the setup.
We did a whole show on this, I think.
Yeah, we did. So if you go into Speedwell, the bartender who is waiting on people who are there is taking time away to take care of your takeout order.
Right.
It's taking time away from her making money. So if it's that
But what is she
situation,
doing? But what is
But
she
it's
doing
still
that's
her
taking
job.
that time away?
answer the phone, packaging it, cashing you out. It's taking away. No matter how long it takes, it's still taking away from her making a drink or serving a
But
customer. Spending time
one
with a
could
customer.
argue that that's part of her job is
Right.
answering the phone and getting it done.
Understandable, but
Just like clearing a table takes time, but that's their job.
But that is what you're getting tipped to do at those tables. It's like so. But if there's a restaurant that has a hostess or a manager on duty that takes the takeout calls, no, they're getting paid a full wage. That's part of their job.
right, but
That's
the
fine.
person tipping doesn't realize that. They're just tipping.
Well, that's what it comes down to. That's why we're answering the question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
So if you were to ask Joe Schmo customer that just made that tip, who would you like this tip to go to? I think the guy would go, you keep it. You know,
yeah, right.
Who's pretty?
Unless it's an industry, an industry person would be like, the
Well,
kitchen or
that's
you
right,
or
yeah.
split it or whatever.
so there is no right answer.
Yeah.
Everybody has got a different opinion.
yes.
Bradley Krotz got a serious question. Is there any other states in the U.S., doesn't say where he is, experiencing a liquor shortage? Just wondering because it has gotten really annoying. Thank you in advance.
We've run out of tequila a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just, they can't send it. I don't know, something in the production line.
Now it's Peachtree. It's fucking weird.
I heard that too.
Yeah, 3 weeks in a row, no Peachtree. You
Yep.
know, like,
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
No one asked if it was good, Jeff.
it just so happens that
Bad memories. Sorry.
it's in a really popular shot now, the green tea
We
shot.
saw so much. of that.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone's
so
getting those now.
That's what it is, and we just now we're going to use peach puree. I'm like, let's just stop serving green tea
Right.
shots until
Yeah.
Peach Tree comes
Peach
back.
puree.
Right.
They can do a shot of James.
But I haven't really noticed anything, that's going to hurt my business that we've been short on.
Tequila's been the only thing. 'Cause we've
Import
fired
beers.
through all our tequila. Like
That's a staff drink.
What's that?
Import beer.
No, I mean that's
Import
what
beers is tough to
Everyone
get.
in Salty wants tequila.
Import
Right.
beers you can't get because the distributors don't want to get stuck with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is okay because everybody's drinking super, super local beers anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true. Perfect storm.
I mean, when's the last time you saw a Bass on tap?
BBC.
Oh my God, not
87
ages.
years ago?
Yeah.
Before the pandemic.
And it used to be everywhere.
Way before the
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be Pub 99,
Yeah.
all those chains. had
Bass and Guinness. Everybody
Yeah.
had Bass and Guinness.
You're right.
Nicholas Wanston. Anyone else notice a resurgence of kamikaze shots lately? What the fuck is up with that? It's like the kids just discovered it from 20 years ago.
I have not.
No, me either.
Pistachio shots.
Yeah, what's
though.
old is
See
new
if they
again.
come
You know
back.
what I mean?
Yes. Pistachio shots and those green tea shots.
The
Yeah.
green tea shots are like
Fucking
insane.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till you get the white tea shots. That's the next one.
Is that what's in that?
Stoli Raz instead of Jameson.
Oh,
They're
sounds
gross.
good. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like those sweet shots sometimes.
Oh, I like green tea shots.
I like
Yeah.
it in a martini glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's in my head that I don't like the shot, but if they gave it to me in a martini glass, I'm like, ooh, this martini's good.
Right.
I don't know why.
No, it's true. Like a Cosmo.
I
like
don't do shots, but give me a martini.
Right.
Give me a martini, I'll sip it once.
Hey, kamikazes are really good too. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like
they're-
the fresh lime juice and shit. I'm surprised they kind of died. Maybe just because it was like, oh, my dad did shots. Of
See, I
that.
think more people did it with the Rose's lime juice, and that's
Well, I don't.
True.
Why
I don't
not
think
get
you can call it a kamikaze anymore.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, Karl. Karl's so woke.
You think so?
I don't think anyone's come for that one yet, Karl.
There's a lot of things you can't say.
It was
I don't know.
floating
I don't
around
know
out there a little bit.
kamikaze's
Should we go down the
really,
list?
No, we should not.
No, that's another.
I don't really think kamikaze is a restricted word of any kind.
Listen, I didn't think there was an awful lot of these words.
Yeah,
were
I
restricted.
do understand that.
I did see
Really?
something where it came up. Really? Yeah, a company like named something kamikaze or something like that, and there was a little bit of.
So, I had a-
everyone's looking for a reason. these days.
I had a buddy that used to attend bar at Fridays, and there's two kids, like freshly 21, and trying to decide what to drink, and the kid's like, I don't know, what's good, and my buddy's like, I don't know, I can make it Pearl Harbor, and he goes, will it get me bomb like Pearl Harbor? And his buddy turns to him and goes, dude, too soon. That's great. Does anyone else think? Oh, this is Frankie Dell. Does anyone else think it's a bit creepy that guys that don't drink come to the bar and buy drinks for girls, but ask you not to tell girls that they aren't drinking?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be very.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
ever happened, and I'm not sure what bar you're at, but tell
I
that
feel
guy
like
to
if
go
you
to
bought
another
it,
bar.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
an
like if you bought a drink for anyone and said, and by the way, please don't tell them. It doesn't matter what you say after that.
Yeah.
Now, see, now I'm going to disagree because I went to a bar in Florida, actually with my parents,
Yeah.
probably about 5 years ago, and it was early in the afternoon, because that's when parents go out, and we sat at the bar, and the bartender came over and gave us our round. A couple minutes later, gave my mother another drink, and said somebody at the bar wanted to buy all the women at the bar a drink. So this one's on the guy that, and they were like, well, who did it? He says he wants to be anonymous.
Huh.
But he came in
I
and
feel like
bought all
that's-
the women, like he didn't say that one. He said, I just want to buy all the women a drink.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like if
Yeah. If you want the women to come back to your bar, don't do that. Because they're going to get the one drink and then they're going to say who bought it and, it's this
Yeah.
guy, and then he's going to do his magic. And then they're not going to come back because that guy's sitting at the bar again.
True.
yeah,
True.
That just
My 2 cents. I don't own a bar.
No, I agree.
it just screams sketchy to me.
Yeah.
Pedo.
Creep.
Yeah. Have you ever done that, Karl? Talking about creeps.
No. I don't buy anybody anything.
That's excellent point. You'd be like, ask that girl at the end of the bar if she'll buy me a drink and tell her that I'm not drinking.
Yeah, it's wicked fucking creepy.
Yeah, it's just the end of that. It's like,
It just made me uneasy.
don't tell her I'm not drinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
like,
passing
first of
out
all,
roofies.
So what are you trying to be? A
Women
prick?
buy me
Yeah.
drinks on their own.
Sure they do.
Does that make you an
I
accessory?
put on my false accent. They
Might.
don't know.
Yeah, because
Yo, mamacita.
You,
what
Jesus
was
Christ.
that?
I'm going to pass
Please.
right by that. Are you liable if that guy is being a creep and he does something?
Don't think you are.
I don't think you're liable.
I think
but-
you're liable for everything.
Legally, no.
Yeah.
Morally, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, morally. But
Morally, definitely. I'm sorry if you're a bartender. It is kind of your job to kind of look out for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That screams
Well,
date rape. Well, not date rape, real rape.
yeah, I mean that's.
It's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm picturing
pretty
a guy that I
sure-
used to have come into Rose Alley all the time. Like, I swear to, I think that's why I'm getting so uneasy because this guy used to come in scrubs like on his off days. He was like a tech at the hospital in town, and he used to do this shit like that all the time. It was fucking creepy. What do you got? Any more questions?
Yeah. This is from Lavona Perry. Who's bartending at a country club? I don't know if any of you have. I'm thinking about a change of pace from my high volume, but I want to know what to expect before applying. Do you have any country club stories?
All right, so if you went to work at a country club because you're looking to get out of the
I don't know if
fast
that's
paced,
gonna
when you go
work.
to a country club and there's a big party, it's fast paced only for a short period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're still going to be fast paced, so it doesn't help.
It's still a different demand, too, I think.
yeah.
Depending on your country club.
Right.
yeah, and I would think that the demand goes up
Yeah. And a lot more
because
needed.
now your attention
Yeah.
to detail needs to be more spot on because that person paid to be there.
right? Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So
I don't know. Like,
you essentially working for the country club, you're working for the members.
Yeah.
So
This is true. That's true. It is. It's just a totally different beast.
if you were looking for a lower, I suppose lower volume.
Yeah,
like-
then you're in the wrong.
So
job.
you don't
Right,
want
yeah.
What
Because, I
I
mean,
picture is
that-
like you
'cause
don't
you
want
work
to
for
make
tips,
Bud Light,
money.
like a soda
Yeah.
bar, but you're gonna go. It's a whole. Every bar is.
You like work
it's a
lunches
volume
or something.
bar.
Right.
Yeah. Work lunches.
But maybe it's a country club where you're waiting for the golfers to come in and there's only 4 or 5 people there at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, picturing like Southers. That's what I'm
Yeah.
picturing right now.
See,
right?
I used to work at a country club like when I was in high school. And I picked like a private country club, so you get the weird old guys. And
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So
I'm picturing the grass is always greener. Like you're looking at
Maybe.
a country club going, oh, those guys got it easy. And then you get there and be like, oh, this sucks.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's all what you're comfortable with. You don't give a shit about old people hitting on you, and you're gonna have to talk to people more.
Right. Why do you want less volume too?
Yeah.
I know.
Are you just tired? Then maybe it is a good move for you. I don't know.
Maybe-
But it's going to be a different thing.
Maybe step out of the industry.
Yeah.
So they like bartending but hate people?
No, they
that
hate
has
lots
to
of
be
people.
very
we all?
common, actually.
Just how much you can hide it.
I would think the hours are a little bit shorter in the sense that a lot of those bars aren't really open full
Yeah.
until folks are coming in for lunch and stuff like that, and then you're probably out of there earlier than you would be at a bar.
Right.
But you're definitely getting stuck doing events and stuff.
Yeah, weddings and
Yeah.
all the catering
Inconsistent.
stuff.
Yeah.
all that catering stuff.
I'm sure you can make great money doing it. Like,
Right.
once you get it,
Yeah,
you're following stuff in there.
I would imagine the tips are pretty good, better on average. I would
I'm
think.
gonna put this over to Jeff. Is there a significant difference at a country club, weather dependent? Like if it's shitty out?
No, because all right, so it depends on the country club, right?
Yeah.
If you talk about Southers, which is a public golf course that has some memberships, that's weather dependent,
Right.
And people aren't going to show up. But if you're at Plymouth or one of these country clubs, you have a monthly stipend you have to hit.
Yep.
So those weather days, you're bringing the family in for dinner.
You have to hit
And-
like a certain number of.
Yeah, you're responsible every month for spending a certain amount. That's part of your membership. So
Don't you
You
pay
br-
for the membership?
No, that's not included in
No,
membership.
that's
The
correct.
Membership is
So
something.
you pay X amount of dollars and then you still have to
and
spend
they
X
say,
amount of
That's
dollars?
if
right,
you want
that's
to be
correct.
a member of this country club, you have to spend
generally,
$4,000 a month in the bar.
generally you have to pay a down payment. You remember the old health club days when you had to pay
Yeah.
upfront down payments? It's the same thing. You pay a down payment, then you pay monthly greens fees and then restaurant fees on top
No
of it.
shit.
All right, Jordan, new idea. Mug Club. You have
Yeah.
to buy a Mug Club.
Yeah.
But then you're required to spend
Well, it's the same thing.
$200.
It's the same thing.
It is kind of what I do.
Yeah.
You're
Kind-
required
it's-
to
it's-
drink
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Buy it and use that. Yeah, if you don't use it every 3 weeks.
It's just so
Yeah.
weird that like when Jeff rolls it up, I'm like,
It's the same situation,
Shit.
except
Yeah.
for they just put a money
Right.
number
Right.
on it.
Yeah.
opposed to the ticket thing.
I would think that business is more consistent. Like it's the same all the time. Now, are you down in Florida where this is all year, or is this in the winter?
Yep.
Where they shut that building down for 2 or 3 months up here? So-
Right.
So to answer your question, Jake Mulford, is there a company that creates Braille menus that you would recommend? We've been talking about doing this for a year or more, but never followed through. Seems like it's simple enough to do to make a restaurant more accessible, and I'd love to have a handful of these menus available. Has that ever come up?
Not once. And I've been doing this a while.
If any blind person comes into my place, I've never seen them.
But
Jesus Christ.
No, actually, we did have a blind guy come in once. We just say, "What are you looking for?" and we'll let him know what we have.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but it sounds
then
like
they actually had too
Karl
many
yelled
drinks.
the menu at.
but it sounds like this is something they feel like they need, right? They're not asking us if we need it,
They got a
but
lot
we
of-
just
maybe
don't know
they
where
have
the
a lot
hell
of
you
blind
get
people.
it.
Maybe they're near a blind school or something.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's possible, but I mean, I feel like Google.
Yeah, I would ask Google.
Google should have that.
You know what might be able to help with that is your food purveyor. If you use a bigger one like Cisco or something like that, they'll bring
Or-
you menus and shit for you.
Or if it is something like you're near a school for the blind, contact the school.
True.
They're gonna have information on where to get that shit.
Good point.
And then they're going to send everyone over.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because
That's a
you're
good
reaching out
point.
to them.
That's a good point.
It's like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, boy, Jesus Christ.
You're on fire this.
Yeah. Set them on fire right now. Dude.
I like that.
It is absolutely the coolest fire I've ever seen.
No one is gonna top the tip one though.
no.
That was
That goes in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame. BarTalk Hall of Fame. 100%, dude. That is unbelievable.
Do we have a Hall of Fame as much as a Hall of Shame?
I don't care. That was a good one. I don't like giving Karl credit. I'm still laughing about that.
So this is from Anna McEachern. I own a bar in Vermont and can't get many liquors like Jack Daniels. Is this just a Vermont issue or everywhere? That has
Are
to
you
be
way the fuck up
like,
in Vermont?
Yeah.
That's the,
Like where?
There's an airport in Vermont.
Like how can you not get Jack Daniels? Like
if you can get Jack Daniels on an island, you should be able to get it in Vermont.
No shit.
Like,
Maybe it's just where in Vermont they are. The trucks don't want to get out there or
in a
something.
mountain.
Yeah,
but
something
I
like
mean,
that.
the trucks would have to. There has to be some sort of. Can you get anything?
But if that's the right, if you can get something, you can get Jack
Jack Daniels, right?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe the owner of your bar or restaurant is in the red and is just lying
No,
to you.
I'm thinking
I was just thinking that.
right?
Somebody's over 60 days.
Maybe the distributor doesn't carry it, and it's another distributor that carries it, but won't go up there just because that's the only thing you're ordering off of them.
Hey, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. In that case,
You don't
drive
live
to
in the
Burlington.
sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Go
mean,
pick
I
it up.
just feel
Yeah.
like that's. If you can't get Jack Daniels, what the fuck can you get?
Yeah, this is true. There's got to be something else that distributor carries. Like, wouldn't a Jack Daniels not want to be with a distributor where they're the only thing that distributor carries? Because
I don't know. Maybe they go the other way for Canadian whiskey.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe it's true. It's not
Suppose.
Jack Daniels though. You need to have Jack Daniels.
Like so what?
But nothing tastes like it.
But
You know
like,
what
what
I
are
mean?
the things that you
Unfortunately.
I feel like you have to have Jack Daniels. You have to have Bacardi.
No, you
No,
don't
not
anymore.
Bacardi?
Not Bacardi.
Well, like, what is it that you need to have?
Tito's
Tito's. That's
Is
really
that,
it.
just a regional thing, or is that everywhere?
everywhere.
Yeah. So stupid. Just because it says handmade on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's really all.
No, it's just easy to say Tito's.
I remember going
Yeah,
to
that
Austin.
too.
and
If you
that-
gave,
easy.
you
Yeah.
give,
Goose
you
is
give them
easy.
well vodka, nobody's gonna know.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because
They don't even drink it in Texas.
Stuff with well
I
vodka.
remember
Right.
going to Austin for a bachelor party where Tito's is made. Like, I don't know why people like this shit. Like, I don't either.
But is there anything else?
I mean, I think you have to have Jack Daniels. Captain Morgan.
Captain, I don't
yeah.
think, I think you get away with Jack. I think now.
Maybe.
I think you need like a Jameson.
Yeah,
Jameson,
you need
you need,
Jameson.
don't.
Stoli
Other than
Raz. I know there's other raspberry vodkas, but
yeah.
that's the call one.
Yeah.
Is Jameson regional?
I was wondering.
Yeah, but do you need it? If somebody
Kahlua.
says Stoli Raz, say I don't have Stoli, I got this, they're gonna say okay.
That's
I don't
true.
know what other Irish like whiskey would you have in place of Jameson?
You really couldn't. There's really nothing
'Cause
else
it-
that's like
yeah.
it.
Like I think that's pretty much everywhere.
But I just wonder if it's like a regional, like we come from a very Irish area. Like if you went to Austin, Texas.
True.
I ripped a bunch of Jameson shots in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I think it's an
they look at you
industry
weird.
thing more than
Yeah.
it's an Irish thing. The Jameson's an industry thing, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Because they do that, like the Jameson bartenders as well. They used to do it, and it's all over the country. So
Yeah.
it's not like they just do it in the Northeast.
Yeah, that's just got an industry cult following to it. Like
Yeah.
Fernet used to have back in the day for a little while.
What's the most
anyway.
common tequila?
I mean, Jose Cuervo is definitely the most common. It's not
I don't
real.
think so anymore.
No, I agree.
No, I
it's
think
weird,
it's
right?
not good.
It's Patron,
Patron.
Yeah.
which isn't good either.
No. Jose Cuervo.
More
But
places
people aren't
have.
drinking it because it's
Casamigos.
good. People are drinking it because they know
Yeah.
they're
Well, that's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
why like Casamigos is the tequila we run out of, and I think it's because that's the new name.
Right.
I remember in
Don Julio,
in-
I've been crushing.
In high school, it was all Absolute.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
had that amazing ad campaign.
Yep.
right.
And it had-
Then it was Grey Goose for a while.
Yeah.
And then, you
Kettle
know,
One.
yeah.
Sky vodka going down.
Sky, dude, yep.
So just advertise well.
Pinnacle was
Yeah.
Pinnacle was cool for a while because of
years
the weird
ago, 'cause-
flavors.
Yeah, 'cause it had all the weird
And Pinnacle and
flavors.
Three Olives.
So,
And they-
Yeah.
so
no one cares.
if you can't
Yep.
get, so the moral of the story is if you can't get Jack Daniels, whatever you can, fucking advertise like shit on your social media and all over your place.
Yeah.
That's what people are gonna want.
Right.
So they only want what they can remember
It's true.
when they're drunk.
It's crazy. You know what I just realized, though? There really isn't any more brands. Jameson might be the closest one where you have to have it on your bar. I think we've gotten away from that a little bit. It used to be automatic.
Yep.
You would be Stoli Raz, all those Malibu, like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I think Tito's is probably there now.
Tito's.
Tito's, I
yeah.
feel- yeah.
Right.
People don't ask for, they ask specifically for Tito's.
But if you were out of Tito's and said, I have Kettle One, I don't think anybody would
Well,
do
and
it.
I don't think vodka
No,
doesn't
nobody
have
would care.
longevity
Right.
of like this is the permanent stay like that. Like there's gonna be a new vodka. in
Yeah.
a
That's
year or
correct.
two.
I think the answer to that question is you just walk into a chain restaurant and see what they have.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Jeff, I don't know if you listen to the show. We don't really answer questions. That's not how this
Edit
works.
that out, fish.
But with that, it's last call.
Last call.
So this is the part of the show where we go around. We can plug whatever we want. I am going to have to think about that for a minute. So I'm going to go right to Jeff Nardone from Mayflower
Well,
Brewery. You can plug.
I
Sorry,
want-
Mike. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go on.
It's your turn, Jeff.
I'm stressed.
All right, so I'm not going to plug anything, but I did want to just talk about this story I just read the other day. So this guy's opening a zoo, okay? And
Is a giraffe, a zebra?
I feel like
No.
that joke coming on.
No, he's opening a zoo.
If there's
He's
no
opening a
punchline,
zoo,
I'd be pissed.
and the guy was pissed. He was on social media, somewhere in the Midwest, and he said, "They're making me carry one polar bear, 2 grizzlies, and then 3 pandas, and they're telling me that's the bare minimum."
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. I love that.
Yikes.
Love it.
Bad. Well,
Love
if we're
it.
telling jokes,
I won't be here next week.
If we are telling jokes, can someone please mute Carl's microphone?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
so instead
so
of
we're gonna
plugging,
go to
I'll
Dan
tell a
Mahoney.
joke. All right, so my joke is, what does a giraffe, since we're doing animal jokes, and Cape Cod have in common? They both have a hyenas. Thank God, I was really nervous. Not bad. Shut off Carl's mic. Dan, it's over to you.
I wish I had a joke. I don't know. How do I follow that up?
That's tough. I know. I'm searching right now. I'm glad you're going before me.
What do you call a bear with no teeth? What? A gummy bear.
Ah, there you go.
good,
Yeah, that's
pretty
cute.
Jordan, over to you.
What do you call a rooster staring at a head of lettuce?
What?
Chicken Caesar salad.
But,
I'm going to go with my favorite. I may have been on this before, but there's 2 wind turbines out in the field. First wind turbine looks at the second one, says, "Do you like country music?" And the second one says, "No, I'm a big metal fan." So with that, this has been Bar Talk. You can reach us on social medias at BarTalkCast. You can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com with all your questions, complaints. We prefer complaints, weirdly, because we're, damaged.
We're deprived.
Yeah. But feel free to reach out to us, and we will catch you back in a couple of weeks. And I think by now, the next Bar Talk Day Drink will be... Bar Talk Day Drinking will be up by now. So go to YouTube, check out Bar Talk Day Drinking. There's a few episodes up. That's it.
Peace.
bye.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, BarTalk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.